Well, I had to complete other kind of experience with catechesis and teaching religion in church and in another groups. I was reading the Bible during many years, and there was some amazing things. For instance, that after many years of reading the Bible in the groups, in the Catholic groups and in the church, I never finished to read the Mark book, and because it was very difficult for me, I'm not a fool, but I um, after getting married, I have two kids in the 91 years, and we the four members, my first husband and the two kids went to the meetings, and we were very respected by persons because some persons told us that we were very important for them, and that when they saw our couple, they remember Joseph and Mary. Well, I wanting to say that our baby seems to be Christ, and David, yes, is Christ, is the Son of God. And when I was reading the Mark Gospel, um, I couldn't finish the complete book. Then I began to read once and once. I never finished, and the book was closed with the last chapter of the Mark Gospel has been lost. And then I bought a little picture of Mark because it was a very I was needing a lot to understand the Gospel of Mark. Then I began to read line for line, but it was very difficult for me to advance more than chapter 3. I only made chapter 1, more or less, chapter 2, and I couldn't understand why. And then I realized that there were many movements in locations. Perhaps it was the reason. And the other books of the Bible that I liked very much were the prophet books. I like very much the prophets' gifts of God for us. And indeed, the book that I liked very much was short book. Uh, and sometimes I repeat it fluently. But Mark Gospel helped me a lot because Mark, I what I could understand, I am not very sure because it's very difficult for me. Don't understand why, because it's simple, but it's really very difficult to understand and to live. Because when I claim, oh, please explain it. No, it's not to be understood. It is have to be lived in the life you have to. But well, I wanted to understand the following items. For instance, sometimes Christ seems to be a bad person when he is punishing the in the church to the sellers. And they explained that Mark make a lot of um, enhancement in the psychological profile of Christ and in his messianic, that the two profile of Christ, psychological and messianic, was the aim thing for Mark. And the other thing was that he was always doing some marks in the loving kids and being very cruel with persons that are bad with kids. And well, a lot of things that were very difficult for me. And after many times, I began to try to repeat it word by word, and I couldn't understand what it was so difficult to learn a little piece word by word. If I am very used to learn a lot of things. And then when I